It's the end of the week. Let's get into everything that has happened in the K-pop world that you might have missed and detail the things you might have already heard, like NCT Taeyong's address being leaked on a live call. Just last month, SM Entertainment firmly threatened strict legal punishment against any kind of privacy invasion involving their artists after everything that was happening to NCT specifically, especially Haechan's family home getting broken into. Well, it doesn't look like the warning was taken very seriously. There's allegedly a SASAENG film video circulating of Mark chasing a taxi after the ride got stolen from him, presumably by people either trying to figure out where he was going or where his home was. The other incident was a SASAENG calling Taeyong and putting it live on Twitter Spaces, meaning anyone could have joined and listened. This person pretended to be a mail courier or something similar and misled Taeyong into revealing his address not only to them, but everyone who was listening. Apparently, the SASAENG attempted the exact same thing with Jungwoo, and while we haven't heard from SM about this yet, Taeyong did later let fans know that he's fine and not to worry too much. This continues to be a huge problem for K-pop artists. We literally saw in real time a SASAENG calling TXT's BEOMGYU at least 5 times during his livestream while abroad in a hotel. He wasn't even able to look at the fans' comments or play music on his phone, having to eventually switch devices and calling out these stalkers while doing so. Red Velvet's Yeri also publicly called out a fan under her own post. Red Velvet are currently embarking on their tour, which saw Yeri upload some backstage photos after their Singapore show. A lot of it was of her hairstyle that she wanted to show off from that particular night. The stylist that presumably helped Yeri in the photos even commented how cute she was, only for someone to respond to the stylist saying the hairstyle is, quote, so ugly. Yeri noticed the comment and immediately responded saying, "I think you should be more gentle before you comment. Someone could be hurt. Thank you." She followed up later on saying she just wanted a bit of respect toward her staff members who worked so hard for her. Although she eventually said she deleted the comment because she didn't want to cause fights and hopes everyone can just find peace and love toward one another. But now we go from idols calling people out to an idol group themselves getting called out. We've talked about 50/50 so many times recently because their music, particularly their newest song CUPID, breaking so many records, going viral on TikTok, still climbing up the charts as we speak, and just recently signing to Warner Records, who want to further amplify the success of that song and more internationally. Well, this is the first time we're mentioning the group within the more serious topics because a Turkish singer recently took to his social media, pointing out how similar CUPID sounds to a song he released 4 years ago. While transitioning between the songs, he claims that the producer of CUPID plagiarized his song without proper credit or recognition to the original track. This got enough attention for 50/50's label to come out, stating that they're currently confirming the facts with the song's producer, who lives overseas and will follow up soon. And while we're talking about rookie groups, let's talk about this crazy story that could affect the future of MIMIIROSE. Legendary singer Im Chang-jung and CEO of MIMIIROSE's company was recently accused of stock manipulation, but has now responded claiming he's the victim and was scammed, resulting in almost $4.5 million in debt. He essentially trusted and left his identification with the scammers, who used his credit to borrow more money from the bank than he initially invested. Along with this explanation, he also says he needs to promote his girl group, but now has no money to do so. The company was even planning a global audition in which the winner would receive a cash prize of about $75,000. Obviously, that has been scrapped. However, somehow, MIMIIROSE will continue their comeback plans, as they've already completed 70% of it, but will now be pushed to July. I really hope we see them, because I'd hate their careers to be ruined by something they had no control over. Let's also talk about other idols we hope to see soon, but when they're ready. We talked about VIVIZ still attending the WeBridge Festival in Vegas last week, despite everything they were going through, especially Shinbi, who did have to step off the stage for a brief moment during their performance there. Well, it has now been announced that due to their poor health conditions, VIVIZ has now cancelled their upcoming schedule. We also talked about Joy stepping away mid-concert last week because she wasn't feeling well, yet still sang the encore from backstage for the fans who came. Well, SM has now officially informed us that Joy will take a temporary hiatus due to her health issues. I feel bad for fans who are going to the upcoming shows, but at the same time also want Joy to rest and recover as much as she needs. Due to Winter's poor physical condition at the moment, she'll have to sit out during aespa's next 2 concerts in Japan. This is really close to their comeback that is happening less than 2 weeks from now. SM also had to announce that NCT Dream's CHENLE would not be participating in their concert in Manila and Singapore, as he's experiencing heavy cold symptoms and aches. Unfortunately, it doesn't stop there because XDINARY heroes JUNHAN announced his temporary hiatus after being diagnosed with enteritis, which is apparently an intestinal issue. Kingdom's Arthur will also be gone for a while as his health, quote, took a turn for the worse. Finally, we probably won't be seeing BAE173's DOHYON, also former X1 member, as he has now filed a lawsuit against his company to terminate his contract due to differing views on how the company fulfilled their contractual obligations. But as always, this week was also filled with so much positive to celebrate in the K-pop world as well. Congrats to NCT DOJAEJUNG, who just took home their first music show win as a unit, and to highlights KIKWANG earning his first ever solo music show win with his song Predator. IST Entertainment have confirmed that besides EUNJI, the other 4 members of APINK have decided not to renew their contracts with the company. Hold on. The reason I'm putting this in the positive section is because thankfully, the company and the girls have reiterated that they will still be continuing their activities as a group and are not disbanding. I mean, 12 years into their careers at this point, APINK focusing on individual activities and then coming back here and there is something we're already used to anyway. However, a group we didn't think we'd see together again is Brave Girls, but it has been announced that the 4 girls will be returning as a full group with Warner Music Korea. Now, because they're no longer under Brave Entertainment and Brave Brothers, they'll probably promote under a different name. Regardless, summer 2023 is now gonna be that much better. Basically, another resurgence for these girls. In the meantime, there are so many exciting releases since the last video, iKON's pre-release ahead of their first comeback outside YG, and how can we not mention the solo comeback of Big Bang's Taeyong featuring none other than Blackpink's Lisa herself. We've previously mentioned 17's comeback, whose latest album tallied over 4 million sales in just 2 days, the only one to achieve that in less than a week, inevitably becoming the highest selling album ever in its first week. BTS's Suga, who just kicked off his solo tour and is no stranger to setting all-time records, now has the second highest first week sales of any solo artist in history. By the way, cool tidbit as the charts updated recently, congrats to ATEEZ for being the only group not from the big 4 companies within the top 10 best-selling groups. Their success just continues to skyrocket, and I hope they keep riding this wave of momentum and success as well as Son rides a dinosaur.